Alright, hello everybody, Skyrain here, back again with another Diablo Immortal video. Gonna break down a matchup from the start of the new Battlegrounds season. And well, first of all, we'll start out with what I'm doing right now in here, and this is what I do, or try to do at the beginning of every matchup. I look over everybody's resonance and secondary stats to get a general idea as to hopefully balanced wise across the other team what to expect. Doesn't always happen that way, but at least it'll have a better generalized idea, and just kind of roll with it from there. Now sometimes I can also tell by just the names, of course. I've been doing this long enough with these PvP matchups and what have you in this game to kind of know, like, okay, I recognize that name, I know what to expect, yada yada. But then again, new season, it might be seeing some names that I don't recognize, and yeah. And even last season, towards the end there, I was starting to see names that I've never seen before, and I'm like, what happened? So anyway, this is my one build that I've been using for quite a while now. I will have to do a revised video on it, of course. Let me know in the comments down below. Yeah, no, seriously, I'll eventually get around to doing that one. I only changed a few things. It's not entirely different. It's the one I'm still currently using. I'd like to honestly try some more. And I have tried, and I have researched and tried out, you know, the more of the meta kind of builds as well. And I say that with kind of a hitch in my voice on it, because I try not to. I'm not really a fan of meta builds. I mean, they are what they are for a reason, yes, but that brings me back around to another point here, in that I'd like to see, as far as like the next round of essences go for the game here, whatever one they roll out next, I'd like to see more build diversity and class build diversity. The last batch that we got, for whatever reason, they felt too same. They were all pretty much like circle builds, and nothing necessarily wrong with that. They did have their little class, you know, take on it, but they were a little too similar. And that's where we kind of get into like pigeonholed meta builds, so, you know, that we know of, and then there's really no getting away from them. So that's why I'd like to see, when they've done the reworks, some of the reworks they did were pretty fun and pretty good. Not all of them, but for the mass majority they have been so far. And I'd like to see that continue, and I'd honestly like to see that more so than the new batch of essences. If anything, I'd say go back and rework a lot of the old ones that really need some love at this point. So that, let me know what you think in the comments down below on that one. Would you like to see either, you know, well, obviously they're going to have to give us new stuff soon, because it is getting a little dry again already. But I would like to see definitely much more build diversity, and that's what makes it a bit more fun on an individual level, instead of like, oh, this person's using, oh, this class is using, you know, this is the build for this class, and that's it, period. There's no deviating from it. There's no leeway, nothing. You have to use this one. And I'm not a fan of that. I'm never a fan of that, especially in a PvP game. I would definitely like to see more flexibility and more fun. So, yeah. As you can see here, I'm playing the support build, of course, the one I use as a free-to-play. It's pick and choose your spots, get in, get out, lay down, cover fire, literally cover fire, and you know, try to make the most of it with how you can. There were a couple times here where I noticed my team was on the other lane and I was left on my own, so I kind of had to back off and not get run over. But I still had to stay aggressive enough to keep the pressure and keep them pushed back. Also, on a side note, I wanted to give, I've said this in a previous video so far, but I'm going to say it here, of course, since it applies to Battlegrounds as a whole for this season. I'm not going to burn through it as fast as I can as I did the last season to get the legend. I just did that on purpose just to see how that was going to go, how the matchups were going to go, how the overall experience was. This time around, taking it way more casual, way more lax, way more at ease. So it's just going to be what it is. I'll do the usual, maybe 3 matches a day, maybe only 2, maybe only 1, maybe none at all for the day, and take a break, what have you. And I think it's a much better approach when it comes to the current state of things in this game and a lot of things. Because at the end of the day, this is a game. It's meant to be played to have fun with. And if you're not having fun, take a break, take a breather, you know, play something else for a while, whatever. You know, whatever you gotta do for yourself to get yourself in a better headspace so that, you know, it doesn't turn so negative and too toxic. And that can happen, especially in PvP games. I mean, that's just by nature. We are very, very competitive and, you know, what have you. But right now, as far as the state of the game as a whole, the overall status of it, you know, it's, you know, in a bad, it's in an okay place, but it's not in the greatest of places. We all know this for the mismatch and the class imbalance, the whatever you want to call it. It is what it is. It's just Blizzy's. Their track record when it comes to balancing has never been the greatest, but still, nonetheless, don't let that bring you down too much anyway, and just focus on what you can do with what you want to do. With what you want to do in a game, okay? So just enjoy yourselves as best you can is what I'm trying to say, and don't let it get too far to the opposite negative deep end. I've seen that happen a little bit in the Immortal Discord, and that's the only reason I'm touching on that subject at all. I'm trying not to dwell and push that too hard, or, you know, get too, I don't want to sound too preachy ever, but that's the only reason I'm mentioning this now, because I did start to see that go, and I'm like, you need to take a break, I think. You need to take a break. I think you need to step away and do something else for a little while. They were, the individuals that I've seen were getting pretty oof. And I'm like, that's not a good state of mind to be in. So do yourself a favor, do everybody else a favor. You know, it's like, take a breather every now and again. Be a lot better for it. So anyway, continuing on with this match here. Trying to, again, pick and choose my spots. This one was obviously a little bit more lopsided in my favor. It just worked out that way. It doesn't always. Sometimes I'll be at the very bottom of the list and not able to do pretty much anything, depending on what the class makeup is on the other side. And I just wasn't able to get the mojo with the team going, the flow, that kind of thing. It doesn't always happen. It doesn't always work out that way. So, you know, but I was very happy with my performance in this one, and like I said, I just want to talk about a few things during it. So, and now, this is what happens at the end of the matchups, where you can actually see the end card. This is when you can check the opposing side to see what you are truly up against. You can check their secondaries and their residents, and then also their class makeup of their team, what they were comprised of, as actually a large factor in things. But this one, I felt anyway, as far as their secondary stats and the resonance, was as close to as even as we could possibly get. This is the very first start of the couple matchups of the season, mind you. So, all in all, not too bad as far as that goes. It will start to jump the shark later on and get really lopsided, but for now, hopefully it stays this way. And like I said, my approach is going to be a couple matches a day, no more, and just chill and ride with it. And I think that's a good place to be and a good way to go about it. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comments down below about all the topics discussed here, one way or the other. Essences, new essences, reworks, what you'd like to see, that kind of thing. And yeah, so anyway, Until next time, everybody, stay safe out there in the real world and fire as always. Take care of yourselves as best you can, one day at a time. That's all we can do. Until next time, see you.